daughter, Kate, she said she wanted to come to the press conference, and she runs our house, so she gets what she wants. Her brothers don't, but she does. Obviously a really physical game. I thought that, it's hard probably for either team to get in any type of rhythm when there's 50 fouls, and I think it was 71 free throws attempted between the two teams. Hard to get in a rhythm for either team, and we're going to have to take a look at it because we've been, pretty consistently at Akron and throughout our career, one of the best teams in the country at defending without fouling. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that today, and we'll look at the film and see what we need to clean up there. Obviously, it's difficult to win when you give up 94 points to anybody, but give them credit. I thought the one thing that really stood out with them is they had guys that made some tough shots. The first half, they made a lot of mid-range twos and pull-ups, whether it was McBride or Napper, other guys chiming in that department. I was really impressed with their ability to make those shots, and then they made a few more of those in the second half, so give them credit. They stepped up and made some plays. I was pleased with our guys rebounding. I know you guys are used to seeing it that follow the Mountaineers, and Huggs' team dating back to Walsh and Akron and Cincinnati and now West Virginia has always been terrific on the glass, as you know. In fact, I think they're the only Division I team in the last 5 years to be ranked in the top 10 in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. And if you'd have told me before the game we were going to get 26 out of 35 back, I would have taken it. I thought our guys really battled on the backboard and was probably most pleased with that. Questions?
So with their size, especially with the starting lineup when they have two bigs in the game, what was your strategy? How did you want to handle that?
Well, obviously, kind of a tale of two different teams there. You've got them with their size, and then we put four perimeters out there that can dribble, pass, and shoot and handle the ball. And so, something's got to give. And I thought our guys tried to battle their size well, fight their duck-ins in particular and their post touches. But there's no question, Culver, Oscar, Rout, those guys are a load down there. And there's not very many teams that have three guys of that size with that type of physicality that can rebound the way that they do and come at you in waves like that. So I was really impressed with their size and their guard play and their depth. I think they've got a chance to be really good.
You mentioned the officiating was tight in this game. You've seen it before. Early season, typically tighter. Do you think this loosens up?
I think it's a great point. I think typically, yeah, especially with, we've had a lot of rule changes heading into the year. And, obviously those guys are tuned into what the coordinator, J.D. Collins, those guys do a good job of talking to the officials heading into the year about what changes need to be made and how they want consistency in the game officiated. And I would say probably so. If you're them, I could see where their antennas would be up for sure. And you probably see, I don't know, statistics would indicate that, but my gut telling me, coaching now for 25-ish years, probably a little bit more earlier in the year, give the players a chance to adjust, the officials a chance to adjust, and I think you'll see that number, in my opinion, probably start to go down a little bit as the year proceeds.
Coach, four players in double figures scoring-wise. Just how encouraging is that when, early in the game, Cheese was having his way, and then other guys sort of picked it up throughout. Just how encouraging is it to know that you have sort of a number of guys that can all contribute, pick things up?
Yeah, no question. We have a lot more weapons, a lot more versatility with that. And you had 5 guys in double figures on Tuesday night, 4 tonight, and I think Reese had 8 without looking at the stat sheet. So we're close to 5 again. And we've got a lot of different weapons offensively. My biggest concern right now is, let's be real here, guys. We're not going to beat very many teams giving up 94 points. We're just not. West Virginia or otherwise. So we've got to figure out, how much of that is that we got to defend better without fouling. We obviously did a good job on the backboard. Do we need to guard the dribbler better? I think that was part of it. And there's some things we got to get cleaned up. If we want to be a good basketball team, we've got to get to where our man defense is more effective than it was today.
You like playing on the road in a Power 5 environment early in the season?
That was great. Great challenge, obviously. Great environment in here. Great coach, great player. It was really good. We got a chance to learn a lot. I think we'll grow from this as long as we choose to continue. I told them in the locker room to stay hungry, humble, determined, and coachable, and use this as a growth opportunity. I think we have a chance to have a really, good basketball team. And there's a lot of, this time of year, and I'm sure Huggs would say the same thing, they probably did, in his mind, some things really well and then made a lot of mistakes in some areas. I feel the same way. We did some things well. One of them might be rebounding, but I thought we turned it over a little bit too much. We got sloppy when we initially saw the press. We didn't convert 2-point. There's areas we've got to get better at. I'm sure he feels the same way about his team. And it's early in the year, and that's to be expected.
Coach, you talked before the game with the guys about just how excited you were for them to embrace this challenge, given the fact that, closing seconds, you cut it to 6, you're in the mix there at the end. Just how encouraging was that for you, and how do you think they handled that challenge?
Well, the biggest thing is I thought that we got hit in the mouth a couple times, and I wanted to see what we had in us when we got hit in the mouth. I loved the way that we responded. I thought that we really showed some resiliency and obviously fought all the way to the end there. I thought our diamond press was pretty good there at the end, gave us a couple opportunities to, sniff a one-possession game. We just could never get it to one. It was 90-84. We get the one steal. Zarius is dribbling full court. I thought he should have shoveled it to Tribble, but, I'm not out there playing, and I think he ends up getting the shot blocked or, getting the ball deflected. West Virginia gets the stop, and that was pretty much the end of the game. But we could never get it quite to one possession. We got it to 2 a couple times, and got in striking range, but never enough really to threaten there at the end and get it to a one-possession game.
Just the 3-point shooting discrepancy. First half, you guys were spot on. Second half sort of dropped off. There was that just law of averages type thing.
Well, we were 6 for 15, I think, at halftime, and I think we made 14 out of, what would that be, Spence? Help me with the math. Or 4, maybe. 4 out of 16 in the second half at 25%. So if we make 2 more, we're at 38, and we're right on point. So it's just 1 or 2 more. I thought that there were times, in fact, where we turned down threes when we should have taken them, and then I thought there were times where we shot threes when we should have driven long closeouts or guys that were really running at us hard. And that's just experience. We've got to continue to read the game a little bit better.
Matching up with the coaches in your school's Hall of Fame. I mean, it's a little unusual. Did you enjoy just the head-to-head matchup with those?
Yeah, I just have always respected him over the years because of how hard his teams play and rebounding, how well they defend. He's done a lot for the game too. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's won 800-plus games. He's and in particular in our area of the state. Obviously his family, and I know Ham, and they're good people. So, he's done a great job, and obviously it's a great challenge to play against his teams, and in particular in the areas of rebounding and trying to score because they just play so hard. And for us, I think their size. You mentioned it right at the outset of this. I don't know if we'll play a team all year, with that type of collective size. So I thought that was good for us as well. I really like his team, and obviously he does a good job.
Coach, you mentioned wanting to improve the defense. It seemed like the diamond press at the end of the game was pretty effective. Could you potentially see your team running that more throughout the game?
I think part of the time you get that question a lot. It's a great question at the end of the game when people still see steals and so forth. Part of it is, too, they've got a lead and they know they have a lead. So they may not be quite as aggressive or attacking. And sometimes your press can look a little bit better in those situations. Having said that, I thought we executed it well. We'll take a look at it, and it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility for us to use it more, especially potentially in dead ball or free throw situations.